Welcome back. Now we talk about cost of governance. Running a country is no child's play. It involves the effective management of human and material resources. In Nigeria, issues surrounding the high cost of governance have been debatable. So many opinions have been expressed. Yet it appears there are no positive indications that those charged with the responsibilities of ensuring an effective and efficient management of the cost of governance, which is about 70% of the recurrent expenditure, are prepared to change the status quo, even as the country tries to get out of an economic recession. How can Nigeria shed excess weight in our governance system so that a larger chunk of the dividend will get to the people? We have in the studio this morning two guests, a development finance expert, Mr. Ayodeji Olugbogi. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure.
And also a member of Institute of National Transformation, Juliet Binitie. Good to have you here also.
Thank you. Good morning.
So let me start with you. If you look at governance in Nigeria and the costs that we've heard over the years, would you say we're trying to do something about it?
You know, we're living in very amazing times, and what really concerns me, especially as an institute, as we make effort to ensure that Nigerians begin to understand that transformational leadership is lacking. I looked at the 2017 budget. I tried to have an overview because I'm not a financial expert, but I understand governance, and we are trying to raise leaders. That's what we've been doing for the past 10 years. And I saw some funny figures here and there, things like 100 million for kitchen equipment and some funny figures here and there. And I just told myself that we are not serious. If a people cannot sit down in this season and decide within themselves that something is wrong with us, that we need to go back to the drawing table and do things right. There's one thing that the Minister for Finance said when she was going through her process of interview with the House. She said something that I think Nigeria should go back to zero budget, whereby we go back and restructure and look through every item and detail. And somebody made a comment, what happened to the money for the kitchen utensils of last year? I'm a woman. You don't need kitchen utensils every year. I don't know how much entertainment is being done in Aso Rock, that amount of money. Then you go to the National Assembly, it's even worse. All sorts of figures, and you're wondering, what exactly is this money from? At what point in time does leadership pay the price for a nation that they said they are leading on the behalf of the people? Meanwhile, we're talking about taxes here, taxes there. Now you want to tax the majority of the people, while the big boys and girls, those in government, will not be paying those taxes and have nothing to lose.
Why do you say they will not be paying those taxes?
I didn't say they may not pay taxes. They may pay, some of them may pay, but most of them, do they pay taxes? In a lot of the private businesses, they do. Let's be frank, there's a lot of tax issue. I'm not a financial expert, thank God someone is here, and we need more people to look into the monetary policy of Nigeria and the fiscal policy itself. There are a lot of escape. We know when Lagos State was pursuing taxes, a lot of big organizations had not paid tax until we had a man on top of his game. The reality is that there are a lot of issues that are happening. For example, when you look at the expenditure you have coming into Nigeria that we're expecting is 4.9 trillion. Going out, we're expecting 7.2. And yet there are no emergencies, agricultural emergencies, a certain kind of emergencies to increase production level. How much are we planning to increase in production level? As for the oil, where the budget most of the time is benchmark, we have crisis there already. Not just in the issue of production, the whole process of oil as it is, even internationally. Well, many people are going into renewable energy and a whole lot of scientific way of survival. But what is Nigeria doing? I looked at the education budget versus a lot of the statements, and I'm asking myself, I said, we did this last year. We even increased in money. From 2015 to 2017, the amount of increase is incredible. And I'm asking myself, I thought they said they were reducing the ministries so that we are not spending too much in a lot of places. But here we are in leadership. You are meant to sit down Like we teach in the institute, we talk about the hunter mindset and the farming mindset. And the hunter mindset is all about what we can get for ourselves and consume. But the farmer decides that, okay, we need to begin to think, what do we put in place for the generations to come? It's not reflective. And for me, that is a crisis.
Mr. Olubogi, you have financial, knowledge.
Okay.
Governance, we have to do this, we have to do that for us to get to where we should get to.
Okay.
And so would you say the government is not trying its best?
At several fora, there have been several discussions, and I think on this station there are things I've said that it's only when we go back to that's when, as a people, because I would not say as a nation, we are just wasting our time. The issue of cost of governance in Nigeria is a recurring decimal. I want to say recurring decimal. If you get to all tertiary institutions in Nigeria, there's either 2-3 people every year working, using that as their project. So there have been a lot of case studies and studies. But this is a country whereby the people that govern us, they are not ready and they are not willing. No matter what we say, I don't think these people are ready. That's the problem. We have 109 senators. If you quantify what they spend yearly, it runs into billions of naira. We have 360 House of Rep members. Quantify what they spend, because when I say what they spend, I mean their salaries, entertainment, guest houses, official trip. These are guys that they would not do anything less than the first class. Precisely. And whereby people of their equivalent in countries, because by the time we are talking Nigeria, we always try to benchmark ourselves with countries like America, United Kingdom. We should benchmark ourselves with countries like Guyana, little countries. This is a country whereby this is not a producing nation. We are a consuming nation. We are backward, we are retarded in all things. India is more progressive than Nigeria. And the statistics have told us that in every 5 Chinese, in the next 10 years, there will be 1 millionaire in dollars. In Nigeria, how many people can be like that? I can categorically tell you, in Nigeria, people that have what we can even call probably $100 million, that's about 360 million naira. Anybody in Nigeria that will have that, if you get 10, 80 stole from government. Precisely. So we just have 20% of people that will have that in their bank balance based on what they've produced. Most Nigerians, if you go, let's just do a rough analysis. If you go to the main streets, when I say the main street, I'm not saying the streets of VI and Ikoyi, whereby people go job hunting. Go to Dokbemu, go to Yanopaja. I'm talking of Lagos, at least where I could tell you. In early hours of the day, you see capable hands, men between ages 18 to 35, jobless, just hanging around. This is a country whereby, if we are not careful, we are sitting on a keg of gunpowder.
You paint a dire picture.
Yeah.
But then, when you say, you use your phrase, we're backward in every way. But you still find Nigerians here who are innovative, who are creative, and have potential. And then when they somehow find their way out of this country, they saw. I'll give you an example. I know of a young man that graduated with a pass in a Nigerian university. He went to the US in 2 weeks before the exams. He got there late. 2 weeks before the exams, he didn't know how to use a computer. So in 1 week, he learned to use a computer. In 1 week, he studied everything they had studied, and he came out top of the class. Okay. So when you say we're backward, does it mean that there's no potential in this country? Okay. Or is it the question of management of the potential?
No. Let me quickly tell you. A country whereby you have 170 million people, that energy is our problem, will always be backward. Let me give you a rough scenario. Naturally, if you are a medical doctor and probably you are being called that